Hello, my dear and lovely Sagittarius. This is your horoscope for July 2024, and July will be amazing month. I advise you to start everything in July, whatever is in your mind, to initiate things, to apply to that dream job, to go to the do and things, because August will have Mercury retrograde, and when Mercury retrograde, you might know that it's not advisable to start anything new, to sign papers, to do plastic surgeries. August will be totally rest month. No, it's really not advisable to start things. So July will be perfect for you to do all the things that you plan to do. And July seems like will be financial month, my dear Sagittarius. Looking at your chart, your financial access, of the chart is activated by new moon and full moon. Each month we have one new moon and full moon, and those moons, they are falling exactly in your financial houses, giving you quite a lot of activity around money and your finances, and shared one and the ones that you earn yourself, my dear Sag. Now July will start from the get-go. 2nd of July 2nd of July will be very activity, like packed planetary activity, packed day, astrologically speaking. 2nd of July we have Mercury, planet of communication and signing contracts. Now Mercury is the planet of thought, and it delivers us news, and it's moving exactly in your ninth house, and ninth house is the house of higher mind, house of travel, all things related foreign and education. Now Mercury coming to your ninth house seems like you will be getting like quite a lot of news from your maybe foreign friends or relatives from very far, from someone who are far from you, located location wise. Also Mercury here might give you a lot of paperwork around your education if you are a student, or a researcher, let's say, or anyone related to studies in universities. Mercury here give you the news. It might be acceptance letter, or it might be you will be applying to universities of your choice. You might be getting ready, preparing your applications. It might indicate from the get-go, from July, and also ninth house is all about travel. It's actually your mind will be on travel page, my dear Sag. Seems like you will be in your mind even traveling quite a lot of places, and even planning. You might be booking tickets, you might be checking, monitoring some flight tickets. It is a possibility to here. And those of you who are busy with visas and residence permits or citizenships, this will be the month when you will get busy around those things. From the beginning of July, you might be applying to those travel papers or immigration papers, or you might receive a news about your application if you've done before already, if you've done so before. Now, it might be that you will just start gathering papers or actually applying to the papers. All these things might quite occupy your life whole July, because whole July Mercury will stay in your ninth house until end of July. Around 26th of July Mercury will move out into your house of career, and career house is the highest house of our chart in astrology. It's the house of social status and influence. Now when Mercury moves into your career house, it might bring you by the end of July some news related to your occupation, related to your job. If you've been applying actively, then you might get some news and perspectives, let's say maybe interview invitations, or you might actually get a job offer around end of July. By the end of July, my dear Sag. Also 10th house, it's about social status. It might be about your you might get some sort of news of from your family. It might be they are moving somewhere, or someone giving birth, let's say, or someone getting married, and you might receive very positive news by the end of July. Now, coming back to your ninth house, the foreign house, travel house, that house will get activated by another planet except for Mercury. It's Venus. On 11th of July, planet of beauty and love, Venus will move into your ninth house. And, these two planets, and Mercury and Venus, together in your ninth house will give amazing romantic trip. If you've been planning amazing and budget kind of trip, you might even go somewhere very luxurious, very beautiful, where you will enjoy. It might be a possibility, and you will have such a possibility and opportunity. Now, it might be also related to your education. You might also were looking for some sort of universities where you think you might get amazing education, great education, and also where it's beautiful, also where you might feel at home. Now, 2nd of July, as I said, because it is the day pact of energy, planetary energy, there is another planet, so Neptune, planet of magic and imagination, planet of inspiration. I love this planet, going backwards in your house of family, meaning retrograding. So when planet retrograde, they are slowing down, in influence, but it doesn't stop influencing your life, but it's just going backwards, retrograding. And it will retrograde in your house of family until pretty much end of the year, 8th of December, until your season. And it means for the next half year, this Neptune will be retrograding. It's actually will, retrograde right after Saturn, its brother. Saturn is the planet of discipline and hard work. And 29th of June, it already went retrograde. Few days before Neptune is going retrograde. So both of these planets, they are located exactly in your fourth house, a house of family in astrology, house of also, immigration. Now, it's a very important house. It's an angular house called in astrology. Now, this fourth house will get activated by these two planets retrograde, meaning moving backwards. And Saturn will retrograde also until around 15th of November. So pretty much end of the year. So for the next half year, these two planets will be giving sort of background, coloring your background thoughts, these two planets are karmic planets, meaning their influence is more on a subconscious level, more on our spiritual level, like our evolution. It doesn't influence us. It might not influence us directly in our day-to-day life, but it will be influencing our thoughts, coloring them and giving us some, let's say, thoughts to think and to develop ourselves. It's a sort of background play for the next half year. Now, these two planets retrograding in your fourth house seems like we'll be giving quite a lot of retrospective notes, and you might be quite a lot of thinking about your family or family that you build, or you want to build. What kind of family you want to have for yourself, meaning what kind of partner, what kind of children, and what kind of people you want to call your family. Or it might be about your parents' life, especially about your mom's life, your mother's life. Now, it seems like for the next half year, for some of you, your mother could become quite a concern, let's say. Not necessarily something serious, but just you might be quite a lot of worried about her or thinking about her life, let's say. And for some of you, it might be solely about real estate, because fourth house is not only about family, it's the place where we live, what kind of circumstances where we live, whether it's apartment or it's a house or anything else, it doesn't matter. It's the real estate where we are based, where we live, And here it seems like your thoughts will be also occupied with your real estate. It doesn't matter, it's a house or apartment, you might be thinking about buying or selling, or what kind of apartment you have, what you want to change there. Might be some redesigning or fixing things. You might initiate some sort of construction or some sort of fixing some things in your apartment or house. It will take as long as half year to finish, my dear Sag. So keep in mind that information. Or if you say that it's not about my real estate and my family, then it might be about your citizenship status or immigration, because fourth house gives us immigration, wherever we go, like wherever we immigrate to call, and we call the place our home. And that's why it's the fourth house covers immigration here too. It might be for the next half year, you will be quite thinking and dealing with stuff around your citizenship or immigration, or it might be also possibility that for the next half year you will go somewhere that you've been before, that you know perfectly, that you've been calling home before. You might visit that place and stay actually for the next half year there, like your previous, let's say, a country or a city or a place. Now let's move to the new moon. We have new moon on 6th of July, amazing pitch new moon, which is happening in your financial house at 14 degrees, meaning those of you who are born around 6th of December, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this new moon. Now, new moons are all about new beginnings, some sort of new story in your life, and it's happening in your financial house, one of the financial houses. And this financial house, this new moon is happening, is about shared finances, meaning whether with your husband or wife, or it might be the money related from the government or some sort of funding institutions, money coming to you from other people. Now, here, that new moon will be supported by Saturn, planet of discipline and responsibility, which is in your house of family, fourth house, real estate house. And Mars also will support that new moon, which is in your house of work. And Mars is the planet of activity. It's a planet, it's our engine. It makes us things to get things done. It makes us do things and create things. Mars is like, let's go and do it kind of planet. It has very small, let's say, patience, and it's exactly in your sixth house. You might be in July quite, let's say, workaholic or busy at work. And Mars and Saturn will support that new moon in your financial house. Seems like you will have the money to support, or you might get money from your family. Your family might give you financial support around this new moon, around 6th of July, beginning of July, because Saturn naturally rules your income house, another financial house. So it's all things related to money coming to forefront, it seems like, by this new moon, my dear Sag. And or it might be that you will decide, let's say, apply for a loan. This new moon might be about a loan, because 8th house is all about governmental money or some institution, financial institutions money. So some funding, you might actually apply and get approved for a funding for your real estate, for example, and you might get support if some documents from your work, from the place where you work. And the conditions of your loan will be amazing. They will be in your favor, my dear Sag. So go for it if you have such an opportunity, and if you have such thoughts to apply for a loan or take some sort of financial funding and help for your real estate, let's say, project, or some family project. Maybe you are trying to buy something altogether, something big, 8th house is also about investments. You might invest into like crypto, let's say, or some sort of financial instruments. And this will be amazing time to do so, because those investments will bring back great and huge returns in the future, just so you know. And also 8th house, where this new moon is happening, is all about health, and Mars is exactly in your health house. Now, Mars in the health house, Mars indicates all things sharp, all things like knives, for example, or scissors, and surgical knives. And new moon is happening in your another health house of health, your well-being, 8th house. Now, it might indicate that someone from your family or you yourself might need some sort of surgical intervention or operation. It might be planned one or it might be unplanned, but no worries, guys. This new moon amazingly positive. So everything will go smooth. So don't be scared if such a situation comes up in your life, but it seems like it's a necessary one or necessary surgical intervention might happen. Now, eighth house is also house of conception, and those of you who've been wishing to have a baby, to get pregnant, this will be your new moon, my dear Sag, and you will be so much happy because Mars naturally rules your house of children in your natal chart, and Saturn is transiting your family chart, and new moon is happening in your conception, house. Now, it seems like you might get the news that you are pregnant, happy news, or in any case, it seems like it will be very happy news for you, my dear Sag, if you, will get pregnant and you will know the news. Now, also, if you are already pregnant around this new moon, actually, you might give birth, my dear Sag. If that's the case, then congratulations. Now let's move to Mars. Let's speak a little bit about Mars and Uranus because these two planets will make connection on 15th of July. And Mars, as I said, it's a planet of get go. Let's do in let's make things done. It has a very it's impatient planet. Now Uranus is the planet of surprises, and you never know what kind of surprise it brings into your life, and it's a bit of a explosive aspect in astrology, which is happening in your house of work and in your house of health and well-being. Now, but looking at your chart, it seems like it will be positive aspect because another planet, Neptune, planet of magic and imagination, will send beams to those two, and Mars and Uranus, and it will make more gentle, whole this aspect will make it more magical, more mild. And Neptune is transiting your family house. Now, it seems like something related to your family members' well-being, or which will come as something shocking, but it seems like you will take it as more positive opportunity, or it might be about your health, actually your well-being, and it might shock you too. In this case, your family will come as one and support you in amazing way, in a huge way, because Mars and Uranus gives some sort of surprising news around your well-being and health. So watch your, let's say your doctor might contact you around 15th of July, or you might actually contact the doctor. For those of you, if it's not about, like, let's say health, then it might be about your work, actually. Then it seems like there could be some sort of, let's say, sudden surprising opportunity about cooperation, new job offer, or you might actually quit your job around this 15th of July. And it seems like your family will be supportive of your decision, which is good. Or it might be that because, let's say, you might accept a job offer and it also will include a relocation package. You might have to immigrate somewhere. You might have to, move somewhere else, somewhere abroad, because of your job, and it will be amazing opportunity, and you will have that chance, and it's a sudden chance, sort of surprise from the universe chance. Now, it might be also related to your mom, actually. If it's not about you, then it could be about your mother's life. So watch around what is happening around your mother's life. It might be her health or her working situation too, or she might immigrate somewhere if that's the case. And also sixth house, all those people who work for us, our assistants, or let's say our nannies for our kids, or our cleaning, let's say, ladies. It might be that you have to change them, or something like related to those people might come as a shocking around the mid of July. Now, this Mars, after connection with Uranus, on 20th of July, will move out from your house of health and will go into your house of committed relationships. It seems like, it will very soon to meet your ruler, actually, Jupiter. It's amazing one because Jupiter is your ruler and the planet of happiness and luck. And Mars on 20th of July finally is moving into your committed relationship, where currently Jupiter is transiting for the whole year. My dear Sag, you are the luckiest ones right now for meeting someone new, or even getting married, better to say, because it's a committed relationship house. Seems like even if you meet someone, that someone will be with serious intentions and thoughts about the relationship. And many of you guys might get a proposal and might get married until next of June, next year, 2025. Now, Mars in the seventh house might give quite a little bit of aggression also within your relationships. If you are in a relationship, then I would advise you practice patience and meditation. But all in all, it seems like you will get busy around your relationships. It might be also about your business relationships, not necessarily love relationships. You might find the perfect business partner around 20th of July. Seems like that seventh house will be activated by Mars, kind of an engine planet for you, and you might meet new people, new surrounding also. Now, after Mars moves into your committed relationships, next day we have full moon. 21st of July, we have full moon, and full moons are all about conclusions. They bring to conclusion some situation that's been already there in your life. Or they are another characteristic of full moon is that they bring your attention to something, to some people, to some situation in your life that needs your immediate action. Now that full moon is happening in another financial house, your earning house, income house, second house, in conjunction with big money planet Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation and rebirth, and is also a planet of big money, like huge monies. Now that Pluto will be in your third house, which is, related to your siblings, if you have them, or related to your skills, like short-term trainings and also some short distance travels. Now, full moon is happening in your second house, house of earning money and your income resources house. And that full moon will happen at 29 degrees, meaning those of you who are born at the end of Sagittarius season, like around 21st of December, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon. This full moon will be speaking directly to you, and full moon will be supported by Mars, which is transiting your seventh house, as I said, of committed relationships, and Neptune, planet of magic, that will be transiting your house of home and family. It seems like one or two of your income sources might come to an end, and it will be positive one. Don't be sad around this, because the universe works in a way that it gives you much better opportunity later. So be patient, because full moons are all about conclusions. It might be you will quit your job, or it might be some one or two sources. So most probably one of the sources where you get income might close, might finish. It's some sort of your business relationship might come to an end with someone, or let's say if you are in a divorce process, this will be the time when you will, let's say, start dividing the property, let's say. Or it might be related to your sister or brother, your sibling. If you had a business together, then this time will be, the time when you will split your businesses. And it might be also about travel. Let's say you've been getting money, let's say having income from somewhere very, let's say not far, let's say from another city, but not far, and that comes to an end. Whatever source is in that city, that comes to an end. Or maybe you are like a seasonal worker. You've been traveling for summer to work somewhere very short term, and now summer is finishing, let's say, or season is finishing and your contract is finishing and you're coming back, and consequently like your income is closing too here. But no worries, it seems like your family is still in a huge support of you, my dear Sag. Or second house is also everything related our, material possessions, expensive gifts like our properties, what we value in life. It seems like it might be you are selling your house or apartment or car, something very that is valuable, something very big and expensive things, material possessions and properties. This is all about the second house, and full moon here indicates you might be selling them, or actually might be acquiring and buying them and signing contract, because Pluto is exactly in the house of signing contracts, third house. Seems like you might buy or sell, and plus sign some papers around this full moon, my dear Sag. Now, and lastly, Sun moves into your ninth house on 22nd of July, and your mind comes back to travel, comes back to, broadening the mind. That's actually who you are, my dear Sag. Sign of Sagittarius is all about ninth house because it's a ninth sign of the zodiac. It's about broadening, it's about travel and education, knowing things, information, and searching for meaning of life. And when Sun moves there, you might be quite in a, travel mode or mood, let's say, by the end of July, my dear Sag. This was a horoscope for July. Stay tuned for August. Don't forget to check your rising sign, meaning ascendant, and moon sign, because those are very important. Me personally, I check my rising sign and moon sign too, because those two affect me in a huge way at current stage of my life. So I do advise you to check all of them so to get the bigger picture of the month. Love you all. Bye bye.